yeah, this happened. So, thank you, Twitch chat. Right, so first thing that I want to address is, well, first of all, it's 8 o'clock in the evening, so Rust door rotation could happen any moment now, but earlier today I submitted a short video talking about this garage door. I was mistaken. I have spoken to Slanosta, the skin creator. This isn't actually a Twitch drop. As he has stated, this is actually simply going to be a skin that's used during the event. This right here isn't a Twitch drop. We're not going to see Twitch drops, unfortunately. So just wanted to clarify that. I made a mistake. You've probably seen, like, on my Twitter, and I put a short video up. So yeah, just wanted to confirm that. It's a special skin that was made for the event, but it's not going to be a Twitch drop. Maybe it might be one in the future because people might like it and ask for it. Could happen, but I don't work for Rustopia, so yeah. Sorry for the mistaken words. So just wanted to pass that on immediately. So just wanted to clarify. All good. Right, let's now talk about last week's Rust door skins. As you can see right in front of you, this is the current sales, as you can see, and Starfish Rug and Redemption Bar reached around 25,000 sales, as expected. But also don't forget, SCMM can only track so many accounts. If there's private accounts out there, it's not going to be able to see if there's any, hidden, stashed away, a few hundred or few thousand quantities. You get the idea. So whilst it says 25,000 at the moment, there very likely could be even more. Understood? Lovely. So, yeah, last night, these skins were abnormal, of course, with the likes of this SAR. So let's go see what they look like in terms of their builder support. And, well, this Redemption Bar is still in the Rust store for $3. You could go to the Rust store right now and buy this for $3. It has builders going all the way up to $3 and above already. Now, there is no listing below $4, so that's also nice. So, as I said last night during my abnormal builder talk in my abnormal builder video, this right here probably is the skin to buy if you want to buy something that at the very least will very likely retain its value. This is a perfectly fine buy. How likely are we going to see another bolt action rifle skin being accepted anytime soon? Very unlikely. They're not usually made that much. They are hardly ever accepted. So all the better for that Redemption Bar. So it's in a very comfortable position. If you still have the time, there is still an opportunity to go ahead and buy it. Moving on, we have the likes of the Windwalker SAR here, and we talked about this yesterday. Doesn't really have the interest. It's a $2.50 skin, and yeah, that's not going to retain its value. That very likely will be going below its Rust store price. We expected that. We did buy orders in the sense of that, and yeah, that is the case. So, unfortunate for that, but how many SAR skins have we had accepted so far this year? 12? We very likely be seeing a whole lot more soon as well. But it is what it is. And then moving on, we have the Starfish Rug. This is the top selling skin of the week. And as you can see, 2,200 requests to buy. This is a $2.49 rug. But we were a little bit unsure. We've seen on the likes of the workshop of a very interesting porcelain rug that very likely potentially will be accepted maybe today or very likely next week for August 4th swipe. Ooh. And because of that, we weren't 100% sure this rug was always going to be in demand and, retaining its value. So, yeah, you can see where the bulk of the builders ends at around $1.80. And I repeat, this is in the Rust store right now for $2.49. Will this retain its value? We couldn't really sit here and confirm it. It does have the useful transparency that can be used for the strategy to, put it over your windows and just get a peek outside. It can keep you protected. But unfortunately, it doesn't glow in the dark. I know it sounds silly, but a glow-in-the-dark rug really is a very nice benefit to have inside your base, especially early on. So, yeah. And with the new potential porcelain rug on the horizon, which also glows in the dark, I just feel like the very second we see that potentially appearing soon, it's just going to take all the attention away from this guy. And then he's going to probably fall into obscurity. Sad, but it's kind of expected. Porcelain collection has been doing very nicely recently. Selling very nicely. People are really in demand for it, and the quality of the skin's stupendous. It's like an art piece for every single one, and that rug skin is the best one so far, so wouldn't be surprised in the slightest that gets accepted. So unfortunately, Starfish Rug, it's just bad timing. Right, so back over to here. As you can see, those are all the abnormal skins. Today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regular skins. Yep, I've got the links for them all nice and prepared right here. So the very second that this Rust door rotates, or tries to, turn on character browsing. No, thank you. Right, so yeah, the very second that this rotates, or starts to, That means all of these skins that you see here, Concentric Kilt and the rest of the tier 2 and all the other skins, they will become marketable. People will be able to list them. We can do our buy orders. How have I prepared these links? If you go to SUMM, you can just click Marketplace button here, and I have a link to the Concentric Kilt. So I basically did that for the other skins. Easy. Now, in terms of today, what could we potentially see being accepted? I should point out, over the past couple weeks, we've been seeing a lot of early picks. So early picks being skins that were quite literally submitted just the past weekend. So out of all 117 skins that you see here, do you reckon there's a decent chance that we potentially might be seeing any of these being picked today? What do you reckon? Do you reckon we might see an early brick skin? Or do you reckon they're all going to be saved for next week when the brick building DLC is introduced next week? I think the latter. So maybe we're going to see some interesting random things, or maybe we're just going to see the typical picks. So of course, with TGG's top picks, these skins by default are the more likely skins that we're going to be seeing being accepted today. Could we become furries like the capybara hoodie and pants? Could we actually see the hard suit tier 2 being accepted? This is the 4th attempt. Could we see Abyss tier 3 become something? You know, we've seen all of those Abyss deplorable skins so far this year. Could we see it being turned into a clothing and armor set? Would be pretty interesting, I'm sure. So loads of potential things on the horizon, but in terms of what's going to be accepted, literally I have no idea. Like last week, I have absolutely no idea what could be picked, but the surprise sure is going to be random. Like nobody was expecting Concentric last week, and that just came out of nowhere, didn't it? So, whether you consider that an interesting thing to look forward to or not, that's the case. So, I believe I've said everything that needs to be said. It's literally just a case now of sitting here and waiting for it to appear. So, with that, let's just skip ahead. One sec. Is it now? Do you want a banana? Peel it. So we are getting Abyss clothing and armor. Fair enough. I feel like the coffee can helmet's going to look really cool. So, yep, and not surprised. That's an early pick. So we're going to see some El Diablo deplorables from now on. We got a melting door. We got the smouldering sleeping bag. So it looks like Smouldering Collection's back now. And the anime AK was accepted. We didn't get a redemption skin this week. Maybe next week, because of course next week is Force Wipe. So fair enough. Alright then, so that now means I need to prepare doing my buy orders for all the skins. So I'm going to go do this. We're just going to skip ahead and we'll talk about all the new skins in a bit. So, right gentlemen, we're back, and if I just refresh here, ta-da! All the new skins are now in the Rust store. So I just want to quickly double check and see which of these skins came out early and which are typical picks and whatnot. So we have 8 skins. Let's just go take a look, because I definitely saw some of these recently in the Rust Workshop skin checks, of course. This is an early pick. So Road Sign Gloves appears without the boots, and there's a thing I need to talk about in regards to that, but congratulations to Mr. Y9J. Then we have this wooden door. I believe this was a typical pick. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. This is also a typical pick. This is 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 a typical pick. So, oh, and this is a late pick. Yeah, that is a late pick. Right, so we had 1 early, 1 late, and then 6 regular skins. So essentially, what I mean by regular is any skin that you would have seen in the likes of... I've lost it. So if I were to quickly go to collections, in the most recent top picks list you see here, they mainly come from this batch of skins. So this is why you've always got to be aware of the top picks, and these are by default the most likely skins to be accepted during that same week. But with the likes of the collection I have here of all the newest recent submissions, only one skin this week. And where is that little tick? Where are you? Where's the gloves? It's here. There we go. So it's always nice to be observant of all the new stuff that's appearing on the Rust Workshop, and it's always nice to be aware of what's potentially more likely to potentially, be accepted. Anyway, moving on, we need to figure out which of these skins is abnormal. So let's go do that right now. I believe we have only 2 regular skins. So this is abnormal, selling at a higher price. This is abnormal. This is not abnormal. This is abnormal. This is abnormal, this is abnormal, this isn't abnormal. Right, and the last one, this is abnormal. So for this week, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6 abnormals this week, and only the AK-47 and the road sign gloves are not abnormal. Very well, so they are regular skins. They will only become marketable when the next Rustore appears next week. And with that, we of course have our regular skins for this week. So these literally became marketable that the very second that new Rustore appeared. And as you can see, the concentric kilt has over 1,300 requests to buy. Looking fairly well built up. This sold for 99 cents literally just about an hour ago. And as you can see right here, it's holding up quite all right. It's got some pretty good buy orders here. And it shouldn't be too surprising because, of course, if you are aware of the recent skins that have appeared on the Rust Workshop recently, you'd know that we do have concentric hoodie and pants on the workshop. There is a very decent chance we could see a new core piece of concentric being accepted soon. It can happen. And by default, whether you like it or not, if there is a new core piece accepted, by default, it will still spike in demand and it will still spike in price. That being the already existing core piece that is tier 2. So the kilt seems to be fairly well built up. It looks like it could retain its value. But if we never see another concentric core piece being accepted, then yeah. And then the likes of the vest and the coffee can are more likely to be neglected. However, the buy orders are still looking pretty good. Pretty comparable to the likes of the kilt. So the kilt isn't hogging all of the attention. It is still getting a fair bit more. But it's the buy order prices here are still matching up quite nicely. And then with the coffee can, same thing. Seems to be holding up reasonably okay. So that's fine. That's fine. Where will it go from here? Can't confirm. You just got to keep an eye out. Maybe we will see some more concentric stuff being introduced. And I should point out, it did sell rather well, 15,000 plus each of the skins, so seems to be okay. So best of luck to you, Mr. Confusion. Keep up the work, and let's see if it gets any further. We also have the likes of the crossbow, and I did say this, I did mention how there's a very good chance... Oh, I did this in pounds. Whoops, why did I do that? Anyway, moving on. Why is there a buy order of $4 here? What? Okay, anyway, moving on. So there's a one... Alright, so the bulk of the buy orders ends at around $1.10, but if you can remember yesterday when we were figuring out the prices in the abnormal buy order talk, we discussed how crossbows, all crossbow skins, rarely ever go below like $1.40. So, at the very least, I fully expect this to probably sit at around $1.50, maybe at its worst. But I could see this doing rather alright. It didn't sell a stupidly high amount, just 10,000. And again, that doesn't look like people bought in excess. Low sales can usually mean a better chance of the skin becoming very, very profitable because it just simply wasn't bought out that much. And of course, with less people buying them in stock in excess, then yeah, there's a lot less people trying to sell them. And you don't get people competing with each other. So this could potentially have a nice future ahead of it. And I should point out, the skin creator is trying to turn this into a collection. Over the past weekend, we did see a Thompson skin being submitted. So let's see if that works out right in the future. Maybe it will progress. Maybe we will see some more Panther skins being accepted. This Cactus Furnace, so Christina, the skin creator, has been making even more cactus skins. And you never know, maybe we will see some more of these being accepted. You never know. Primitive green skins. Would you like the idea of that? Would you like to see more of that? Well, if we do see more of those being accepted, all the better for this. Because this furnace did not sell that much. 9,300 estimated sales. That's not that much, is it? So in the grand scheme of things, because hardly any of these were bought, could it easily potentially turn around? Maybe. It's got a $2.49 buy order at the very top. What's going on? I have no idea what's going on for some of these skins, but anyway, from what you can see here, bulk of the buy orders going all the way up to $1.10. This was literally for sale for $1.49 in a Rust store just about an hour ago. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like it could hold up quite nicely. Will this potentially go below its Rust store price at any point in the future? I wouldn't be surprised. Could it easily rebound? Well, it could easily, yes, because at the moment, this is the lowest selling furnace skin this year, and rarely do we ever see a deplorable skin sell less than 10,000, but the other lowest selling furnace skin was 14,000. That was the diving furnace. So, yeah, that's not looking too good at the moment. But at least this is, unique and somewhat fun of a design. That one's fairly tame and not that interesting. So we shall see. We shall see. And then, of course, we move on to the likes of the Coliseum double barrel shotgun. How much did this sell throughout all of this month? In fact, you know what? Week. Let's refresh just to be 100% sure, because it looks like it only did 6,700-ish sales. And yes, it looks like that's all that happened. So this is the lowest selling skin of the week. And I did point this out. Half the reason why is most likely due to the fact that last week, literally the week before, the Black Gold double barrel shotgun had come out. So everybody that wanted a brand new double barrel shotgun most likely already bought one. And then this literally appears the week after. Very bad timing. Clearly, people just weren't too fussed to buy another one. It kind of struggled to sell. But this is potentially vulnerable to manipulation. With hardly any sales, the manipulators are probably looking at this and thinking, right, we could just probably buy out the majority of the stock and make this appear to be a whole lot more valuable than what it actually is. So if that's something that you're potentially keen and wanting to invest into, maybe put a fairly high buy order down. And at the moment, the bulk of the buy orders, this has got 1,000 requests to buy. As you can see here, it kind of ends at around $1. Could it potentially go a bit higher? Maybe. And don't forget, like I said, I mean, that ain't going to sell. Or could it? Anyway, moving on. The actual genuine demand is around here. But if you randomly see this actually selling for like $10 at some point in a month or so, that's most likely being manipulated. I have given you the warning. If you want to hop in and do a fairly higher price, give it a shot. The choice is yours. Right then, and over to here, we have the large OSB box, and I just don't think people were too fussed about it. Yeah, the highest buy order goes up to $1.09. Could this go far? I don't think so. It didn't sell that much. In fact, how much did it sell? It sold 8,500. I believe that's the lowest selling large wood box skin this year. Let's just confirm that. Come on, show yourself. Yep. Here we go. And here we are. Right, compared to all of these other ones, the previous lowest selling skin was the industrial... No, it was the twig large box. No, it was the crate box. Hedge, fuck's sake. This only did 11,000 sales. So this... it really didn't have that much demand. But again, could this also potentially be vulnerable to manipulation? Could be. But... that's not something to rely on. I don't think it's going to manage to retain its value. I think this is going to struggle. It's just not that interesting. It's too plain, unfortunately. Far too plain. And with that, that was the skins from the previous week. Did you invest into them? Did you buy them? Feel free to comment. So, with that out of the way, we can now talk about the newest skins. Yes, we can. We can discuss which of these skins very likely will be a very nice investment. So I think we could probably jump straight in and talk about the likes of the Abyss Tier 3. So yeah, this is the same collection from the deplorables, and I actually did this earlier. I quickly searched for this because I realised, hang on a minute, is everybody going to go quickly jump in and buy out all the deplorable skins? So let's just duplicate this tab. So these are the numbers. It seems to have copied the numbers. And if I refresh now, will this go less than 99? Will this go less than 71? Will this go less than 154? Will this go less than 57? I refresh now. No, it didn't change that much. Some of it did go down. Some of it, Furnace didn't. Maybe it's because it's quite expensive. But here's the thing. We are now expecting clothing and armor set of the Abyss collection. So we've started off with Tier 3. We now sit here and expect the arrival for the potential to see hoodie and pants and Tier 2. And of course, you know how this routine usually plays out. If they do appear and get accepted, of course they're going to spike in demand, spike in price. This, by default, was already an interesting collection with all of these deplorables. But now we're taking it with a brand new twist, a new perspective. We got the clothing and armor horizon. It is debatable whether you like this design or not, because you might need to get a very big toothbrush for this guy. Bit sharp, isn't it? But someone was sitting here and saying, oh, Hedge. Oh, surely this is like a budget blackout. Is everything a budget blackout now? I wouldn't probably sit there and say that. But in terms of a completely unique idea, in terms of like the design of the face mask and whatnot, looks pretty cool. I'll give it that. It looks like it's going to sell quite nicely. The design of it, all eldritch and otherworldly, I think it'll do all right. Now, this is abnormal. I don't need to rush into buying this. This looks perfectly fine for what it is, but I'd rather see what the actual demand is. I'd rather see everybody else doing their purchases, and when it comes to Wednesday for me, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to figure out a decent price, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my buy orders. Because, of course, with this weekend that's about to appear, we very likely could see Little Ranger committing to the set and making Hoodie and Pants or Tier 2 this weekend. So if I see that, I'm going to feel a whole lot more confident into jumping in and buying into this. This right now looks very nice, but I should point out, Little Ranger, the skin creator, is the skin creator with the second most acceptances. He has definitely made full sets before. He unfortunately has been unlucky in not being able to complete a set before, like the toy collection. So it could go either way, basically. It could go either way, but he's definitely been successful, and I would have reason to believe he could finish this set. Hopefully, maybe. Hopefully. Oh dear. But yeah, if this clearly has a lot of demand, I wouldn't be surprised if the Abyss, Hoodie and Pants, and Tier 2 also get accepted at some point down the line. And yeah, basically that's it. So you remember how Reptile Hunter played out? Started off with that Tier 3. I sat there and said, look guys, if new core pieces get accepted, this is what we're going to expect. Do you remember how high of a price that Reptile Hunter face mask went up to when we saw the Tier 2 finally being accepted, the final core piece? It went up to $12, didn't it? Do you reckon the likes of this could go very, very high as well? You tell me. But yeah, if you can remember that, Reptile Hunter... No, when was Reptile Hunter? Was it May 4th or April 27th? So this started off, and if you can remember... This is exactly what started off this set. And what's the price now in dollars? $7. And at its highest point, this was selling for around $12, yeah. Sorry about the banging. That is the roommate. I figured out what the banging noise was. That's not my fault. I can't do anything about that. Other people live here. Right. So, good things could potentially happen to that, but you've already been overtaken by a very notable skin. Yes, what do we see here? This right here is the Pirate Road Sign gloves. Now, I looked at this past, just a couple of days ago. This is the only early pick of the week. Of course, we saw this in the Rust Workshop skin checks. And again, I honestly just wasn't surprised that this has come early. I'm not surprised it's been accepted. What I am fairly surprised about, though, was that we did not see this get paired with the boots. So initially, Y9J, the skin creator, he paired it up with a pair of leather gloves. We never saw this being accepted, did we? Because when it was ready for it to potentially being accepted as a typical pick, the Tier 2 skipped ahead and jumped the queue. So here's something that I want to bring attention to all of you. Guys, usually every September, I want to show you this. So, for example, September 2020, what did we see? Complete the sets. Yes. I know we had complete the sets back in May, but I get the feeling we're going to have complete the sets in May and September from now on. Because for every single year, we've had complete the sets every September. I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially, for September 2023, have complete the sets. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we see a random pair of boots in those complete the sets, much like we saw last year. Pirate boots, don't worry too much about it. I think you very likely could see it in the likes of a future complete the sets. So if you're questioning it, I feel like that's potentially the answer. So yeah, maybe we're going to see them later on. Fair enough. But we have these now. We need to talk about the gloves. They are selling at 99 cents. Now, I've said this many times before, especially of road sign glove skins. Let's go take a look at all of them. Let's go see how they're doing. Right, so if we go by newest, they're all in the positive. What you probably realise is all of these road sign gloves except this one, or actually technically they are, they're actually part of a set. They're part of a set that has other clothing and armour skins. And usually, road sign gloves that are part of a set tend to do very nicely. As you can see, look at all the positive. There's only one negative here. And then over to here, look at all that positivity. Unfortunately, no mercy road sign gloves. It probably sold too much is probably its problem, but it's only down by 7%. Phantom road sign gloves, I think people just don't care too much about it. But at the end of the day, 30 road sign glove skins, 1, 2, 3. only 3 of them are in the negative. All of the other ones, comfortably in the positive. This pair of roadside gloves, I think it's going to probably sell quite all right. Yes, I do. Why is that banging constantly? I don't know. My apologies. I'm going to have to go talk with them. But yeah, this right here, I think this is going to be immediately a safe bet to jump in and buy into. Much like all of the other pirate skins. Remember when we just sat here and said, guys, you know what? Maybe it's a perfectly fine idea to just go ahead and buy these tier 2 pieces literally 2 weeks ago. Look, they're comfortably in the positive at the moment. The vest, surprisingly, went up by the most. That took me by surprise. But anyway, for all of the core pieces, we saw the likes of this, and this immediately have buy orders go all the way up to the same price it sold for in the Rust store. So for the likes of these roadside gloves, I can't see it going down low that much. The only concerning thing could be how many of these will sell. But what I will also point out is, by themselves, these are some pretty good looking gloves. Like, these do look really cool. The bone mesh, I don't want to say mesh, but the bone texture on them and whatnot looks nice. I think a lot of people will appreciate using these by themselves. Like, you don't have to wear all the pirate collection, just wear them like that. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice safe purchase this week, wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if it's going to be the roadside gloves. You've seen all the previous pirate skins this year. You've seen how they've turned out. It is what it is. Sounds good? So yeah, pirate collection. Maybe it will slowly gain in value as time goes on. Sure, fair enough. We have made the point that, it could be seen as a budget blackout. I don't think blackout gloves sell for that much. Prove me wrong. Let's find out. The answer is gloves are selling for $8. Okay, then there you go. Wow. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, sure. There we are. Yeah, that looks nice. Who can afford those? Probably not everybody, but you've got a much more affordable option now, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's got bones in it. That makes it instantly more cooler. Yeah. Take that from the guy wearing cat ears. I know what fashion is all about, right? Oh, good. Right, so that looks to be perfectly fine to just jump into and buy. At the very least, it will retain its value. Sounds good? Gloves are also late to the set, so lots of people jumped in on it. What are you talking about in regards to that? You're talking about the blackout glove. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what you're about. Yeah, you are correct. We had pretty much all of the core pieces of the blackout set accepted, and then the gloves came out like a year later almost. So, yeah, you are correct in regards to that. Infernal Door. Let's move on to you. Right, so this is a pretty cool-looking glow-in-the-dark sheet metal door. Get a good look at that. It's literally oozing metal outside of it. Who left the furnace on? Ha 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 ha. Anyway, moving on. So, anyway, cool idea, but I just don't really trust sheet metal doors that much, to be honest. Like, let's just go take a look at all of the sheet metal doors. Like, if you like it, by all means, buy it, use it, support the skin creators. But with the financial perspective, I am cautious about sheet metal doors, and here is why. Let's go see all of the sheet metal doors that have been accepted this year, and let's see how many of them are still holding up nicely. And the answer is 3. 3 doors are holding up nicely. We've had 14 accepted this year, but only 3 are slightly in the positive. The Abyss Metal Door, the Neon Carrot Door, and the Easter Chick Door. Probably because they're all a little bit goofy in their own way. This is part of an established collection. This is very goofy, and this is simply a carrot. People like carrots. Also, it doesn't have any quantity on the Steam market, this one, it seems. Only 21. Oh, 23 now. So, anyway, moving on. So, yeah. Remember how that sunken door looked really cool and sold for $2.49? Well, now it's selling for 99 cents. I'm not joking. You're about to see this. Literally, just a few weeks ago, this looked really cool. No, down to $1. So, yeah, I look at that with concern. I'm not too keen on it. I'm probably just going to stick with doing a buy order. It's abnormal. I can do that. It's abnormal. Yeah, I'm going to do my buy orders first, look at the support afterwards, then I'll make the decision. Sounds good? Awesome. Right, so, Anime AK. I've seen this in the workshop skin checks before. I can't really tell what makes this anime. I guess the style of it. Didn't we have a JPEG AK being accepted not too long ago? Let's just go quickly find that out. I swear we had a JPEG AK-47. Anyway, this is $2. It's not abnormal. Let's just quickly go over to here. JPEG AK. It must have been last year, right? JPEG. Oh, there we go. Right. So there's basically more like a design choice rather than... Yeah, I'm pretty much seeing it nearly the same thing. A style gimmick rather than like a texture. Where's the anime girls and the monsters and all that? It's important. We don't have them. This isn't anime. This is just an AK. So with that, I'm going to treat it like a generic AK, unfortunately. Again, financial perspective, that's what we're here for. When you look at all of the generic style AKs that have come out this year, you'll notice that down 29, down 54, down 48, down 65, down 48, down 23. Yeah, they're not doing good. They're negative. They're bad, unfortunately. Bad investments. So that right there, I'm immediately not super keen on, unfortunately. It's more a case of the weapon itself rather than the actual... Well, I mean, skin technically as well. I just don't imagine a lot of people looking at that and thinking, wow, sorry to say. Yeah, again, I have to try and look for what's going to be a good investment. And we've talked about this many times. AKs tend to be very dodgy. Even the AR Nana seems to have gone down a little bit. Well, you don't have that many quantity. Let's just see if it's a straggler. AR Nana, you came out not too long ago. And the answer is... well, you got a fair few going below $2.50. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Maybe it will turn around because, of course, we did see another banana skin being accepted. But the issue is 17 AK-47s accepted already this year. We've got another 4-ish months to go. We very likely might surpass last year's 27 number. Another 16 or 17 weeks worth of Rust stores. Do you reckon we'll see another 11 AKs at the very least? I wouldn't be surprised. And with far too many AK skin options to choose from, the generic ones suffer very easily. So I'm not super keen on that one. 70 cents to 90 cents by order. Smouldering sleeping bag. Right, so we've been seeing... how many sleeping bags have we had this year? Let's just quickly find out. This isn't related to the furnace skin that was accepted not too long ago. You probably don't remember the smouldering set, and I'll show you a second what it looks like. But yeah, we haven't had a sleeping bag for about 2 months. Interesting. And this one glows in the dark. That one didn't, but he seems to be doing quite all right. This one did, and it's a From Hell skin. They always go down by like 20% during the year. This is only down by 12%. This struggled. Oh, damn. It's probably because of the sales, and it just wasn't that, and it's super in demand. Anyway, so do you remember the smouldering collection? It was a few skins accepted last year in the summer. Oh, actually, spring. But anyway, not looking too good there, you two. However, I can sit here and say, Mr. WAG, I wouldn't be surprised if he probably makes a second attempt on the likes of his rug and his sheet metal door, because with this being accepted, yeah, I think he's going to probably jump back onto this. Now, let me just remind you, this is not related to the furnace skin that we had fairly recently. Similar designs, but it's not charcoal. That was made by Sadist. So if you get a little bit confused, they're not related. Similar themes, just not related. This is also abnormal. I'm not going to rush into buying this. It's a goofy idea, but what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Do you want a nice, comfy sleeping bag that's going to keep you all nice, cozy and toasty and warm in those devilishly cold nights? Yeah. Well... As we have mentioned many times, glow-in-the-dark deplorables can be very helpful in the early game in your base. So with this, could have a nice future. Let's look at the sales for the week, and then we'll make a decision on Wednesday night. We'll do the barters first, then we'll figure out if it's going to be a good idea to invest into. I can speak words, I swear. I'm not a natural cat. Please, trust me. Right, then we have the El Diablo wooden door. Guys, I just don't trust wooden doors, unfortunately. Let's go see all the most recent wooden door skins to be accepted. And the answer is... Oh, do you remember Rampage wooden door? Well, that's now down 46%. That very special door from Easter, down 40%. JPEG door, down 36%. Look door, down 56%. Twig door, down 45%. Yeah. And then you might sit there and say, but what about Poor Man's door and Molotov door? Manipulated? Yeah, this was definitely manipulated. I don't think Poor Man's door is being manipulated anymore. But this right here definitely got bought out by a group of people, and they're making it appear to be more valuable than what it actually is. This right here isn't natural. It was simply everybody, or a group of people buying out all or rather the majority of the stock, and they are tricking third-party sites. They're going to trade with them and probably walk away with like big grins and stuff. So yeah, that's not actually that price. It's just manipulation. So, by default, you can see that the vast majority of Wooden Door skins tend to not be very good investments. It's abnormal. I'm not going to rush into buying it. I'm going to do a buy first, but I'm not super keen on it. It's a nice glow-in-the-dark design, but yeah, look, as I said, if you like skins, by all means, buy them, use them, enjoy them, support the skin creators, keep them motivated to keep wanting to make skins. But I'm looking at this with a financial perspective, and I'm sitting here saying I don't expect it to really hold up very nicely. Yeah, so yeah, awesome. And then we have the MP Nana. Wait, I thought it was the MP5 Nana. Did you change the name? They did. No, they took away the 5. No. Anyway, moving on. This is the next banana skin to be accepted, and it's an MP5. So unfortunately, we have to point out the problem with MP5s. They don't seem to be well liked at the moment, do they? In fact, I was looking at the Rust subreddit earlier, just because, it's nice to see everybody moaning at each other for silly reasons. But someone quite literally brought it up earlier. MP5 kinda sucks. And it is generally, pre-recall update, MP5 was one of the best craftable weapons outside the AK. Yes, it was in contention for that spot, like second or third best. It was against the likes of the Thompson. So that's why both the MP5 skins and the Thompson skins were very valuable before that recall update back in June of 2022. But the recall update came out, completely killed the MP5. Now nobody really likes to use it that much. And of course, all of its skins suffer. The only MP5 really doing quite nicely at the moment is the Black MP5, and that's because it's got the special transparency on its aim sight, so it's one of the go-to skins, and it's also part of the Blackout collection. So yeah. Right, so the MP5, the banana MP5, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I am concerned. Yes, it might be selling for $2.49. Yes, it's abnormal, but it's an MP5. I am worried for it. I'm concerned. I don't think it's going to hold up. And I'd rather do my buy orders first, and then consider what I'm going to do next. This very likely could be the least bought skin of the week. It very likely could, and I wouldn't be surprised. But it's mainly based on the weapon itself. As I have said, Debsky and PYH, consider making deployables or clothing and armor. I feel like that would be a nice step. Or a revolver skin. I like revolver skins. No. Banana longsword. Look. You've been very successful, right? You've been very successful. Let's listen to I'm off. I'm off calling my arm. We haven't had a longsword skin since 2017. They're not unsupported. People just aren't making them anymore. Listen, YouTube, and all of the Rust community. Would you like to wield a gigantic banana and beat people around the head with it? I want you to think very, very, very hard, okay? Do you want a big banana? Say yes, say yes, say yes. So, that's just an idea. I'm being a bit goofy. You could also consider doing like a primitive banana set, beanie hat for the top for what would be like the stalk, and then yellow burlap and shorts and whatnot. Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be goofy. But yeah, it's up to you. So we've been seeing a lot of banana skins this year. Yes, we have. And yeah, that's basically this week. So yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I kind of thought we might see this, and it happened. You might notice we didn't see the Redemption SMG. Fair enough. Next week is a force wipe. Maybe we'll see it for that week. Because, of course, we need to point this out. You might not like it if you're older, but all the kids are now out of school. In North America and in Europe, all kids are out of school for summer vacation now. I reckon for next week, for the force wipe, we're going to surpass last week's peak. Oh, no, not last week's. This month's peak player count. So we had 182,000 peak players for July. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We surpassed January, for God's sake. That's madness. I reckon we have a very good chance of surpassing July with the August Force Wipe. We're going to have the new DLC. We're going to have a few new interesting things. It's not a big update, but I still think it might be interesting enough that we're probably going to have a very high player count. And this month, 94,000 players average. Rust is growing. It's not stopping. It is not stopping. It keeps growing. 94,000 is exactly like January. And, of course, loads of people playing during January. It's ridiculous, post-Christmas time. Things are looking very interesting for us at the moment. I reckon we're probably going to have another instance where we have 100,000 players average again for a whole month. And all the better. So, yeah, if we don't see the custom SNG maybe for next week, because when you have loads and loads of people playing for Force Wipe, that means loads of people see the new Rust store, and that means with more people seeing the Rust store, more people are probably inclined to buy the new skins. Therefore, if you're smart, you'll probably save some very nice skins for that Force Wipe, because if they're expected to sell a whole lot more, you want to put out some good content that people will actually want to buy. Makes sense? So, yeah, more profit, basically. However, of course, over this past weekend, what did we see a whole lot of? Especially with the likes of the deplorables. We saw a whole bunch of brick skins. Yes, brick barricade, brick furnaces, the very cool-looking porcelain rug, which looks absolutely amazing, and I think would have a very good chance of being accepted next week. Yes, I do. That is an awesome-looking rug. I'm not biased. I don't care. It's just amazing. Look at it. Look at it glow in the dark. So, yeah, I think that'll be accepted next week. But yeah, the brick stuff, brick large boxes, brick door. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Freddy gets his brick sheet metal door being accepted. It's all about bricks next week because the brick DLC is coming out next week. So, yeah, that would probably be a pretty good example of I'm pretty sure that's going to be accepted next week. So, yeah, we're probably going to see a whole bunch of bricks next week, and maybe some random picks here and there. Finna bricked it up. Bricked out the wazoo. Brick through the window. Yay! So, alright then. I think that's it. That seems to be it. It seems to be calm and nice, and yeah. I think we're going to see the likes of the Pirate Road Sign gloves probably doing about 40,000 sales. I reckon Abyss face mask and chest plate will do at least about 25,000 sales, I reckon. And then all the other stuff, I'm not really sure. I think Infernal Door will probably do quite alright. It's very goofy looking, but I think people do appreciate the somewhat cool looking design. Sounds good then? Yeah, that is it. So, you've got to keep an eye on the likes of the Rust Workshop skin checks if you can, please. Keep an eye on this. Every week I'm doing my Rust Workshop skin checks where I point out all the newest submissions that have appeared, and you know, they very likely could be early picks, or they could be appearing in the top picks list next week, in TGG's top picks. And you should always watch the likes of my weekly abnormals video, because in this video I always talk about what prices I want to offer for the likes of the abnormal skins, and then we do the abnormal barders, but I also put the time in to point out what prices I'm considering doing for the regular skins, the skins that are going to become marketable the next day, which, of course, with this current Rust store, we had a lot of this week, didn't we? A lot of these. And I have my prices already figured out. So, with that, best of luck to all of you. Congratulations to all the skin creators, and let's see where we go from here. Have a lovely week. Force Wipers next week. We will be having an early Rust store rotation next week, that's for sure, 100%. So, all good. Catch you all later. See you.